Hello HUD House Hunters, it's Donnie Corum with Colorado Springs ForeclosureDeals.com. Well guys, we're literally down to the last 2 days as we record this of the tax credit, so if you haven't picked a property yet, you may be out of luck, unless you happen to be one of our wonderful military servicemen and women. They've extended the tax credit specifically for people who are deployed within the last year. You're still eligible for the tax credit until next year. So that's a huge benefit to our service members. If you're watching this in your military, and a lot of the people who inquire on our site are, you still have time to take advantage of it. Again, don't miss out. This is an opportunity to buy a great deal and still get $8,000 tax back as long as you are a military member who is deployed. With that, today I'm standing in front of 3247 Heather Glen Drive, Colorado Springs, Colorado, zip code 80922. Now guys, this house was built in the late 90s. It features 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, a 2-car garage, and 2,100 square feet of living space. Normal retail on this is $225, but you can buy Heather Glen right now for only $190 grand as long as you act quickly. This house is in pretty good shape. You're going to like it. Let's all go take a look. Come along. We're in the entryway at 3247 Heather Glen Drive. Now guys, as you walk in, you're going to walk in sort of what they consider the formal living room area. So you'll set out your nicer couches and stuff, the area where you don't usually use but reserved for guests, and you have a nice formal living. As you walk through the formal living room, and you'll notice they painted it kind of a green color, so we may neutralize the paint color, but beyond that, nothing to do there. You walk into the kitchen. Now the kitchen area is a nice eat-in kitchen, and it features newer cabinets. The countertops are white, and they actually held up pretty good considering this is a little over 10 years old. Normally white countertops don't hold up well, but these were well maintained. It is missing most of the appliances except this micro-range hood here, so you're looking at putting a new stove, a new fridge, and a new dishwasher in the property to get the appropriate appliance package. Now, one of the things I'll point out is the hardwoods in here. I'm a big fan of hardwoods, but if they're not maintained like these were, you'll notice that they're starting to get spots here in the flooring where the veneer is rubbing off. This is actually pretty easy to fix, guys. I've got a guy who can repolish these floors for about $1 a square foot. So though it looks horrible now, it looks like it needs some work, it's actually a surprisingly easy fix and something that's going to add a ton of equity to this property without much work on your part. When you get to the point where you're buying this, I'll introduce you to my flooring guy. We continue on this direction to the informal living area. And this is during the plasma TV era when it started to become popular. So you'll see here that the TV setup, this is a good place to mount your plasma. And a lot of times they put the cable outlet close by so you can, or even in the wall. In this case, you just have to run the line down to there for that. And this is where you set up your couch. I like the way they position the half wall here to give it actual room separation. So you might put a couch here and a couch here, and really take advantage of the space in this room, making this the informal living room where you just hang out. The flooring problem sort of continues in here. Nothing huge, nothing we can't address, just something you need to be aware of when you buy this property. We're going to put a couple $100 probably into refinishing the floors. Half bath on the main level here, and also the laundry room. So this is for your guests. And as you continue on the way back there, you'll notice that you have your washer and dryer hookups this direction. So this is nice because it's kind of off, out of the way, if you will. It's not using up, space all that much. It's a good place to stick your laundry and provide a spot for your guest bathroom. As we head upstairs into the Heather Glen property, we've got 3 bedrooms upstairs. One of the big features of this particular floor plan, which I've sold before, is the master bedroom. We're going to save that for last, but let's start with the secondary bedroom. The first of the secondary bedrooms was painted sort of a green color. Might be the first thing I do in here is just kind of neutralize the color, but I will say for a property that's 10 years old, they took pretty good care of the carpeting in all of these rooms. It needs to be re-stretched in certain areas, which is normal wear for carpet like this, but you don't need to replace it. You need to get somebody in here who can re-stretch it out to take some of the bumps out. You may see some bumps and variations in the video. So secondary bedroom 1, followed by secondary bedroom 2. Both are about the same size, pretty decent sized rooms, great kids rooms or an office or a secondary guest room, however you want to use it, but you definitely have options on these. And again, besides neutralizing the paint tones to your taste, there's nothing you really have to do on these rooms. They're in pretty good shape. I do want to show you the view from some of these bedrooms is awesome. I don't know how well the camera's going to pick this up, but we've got a nice Pikes Peak view directly out this bedroom. So that's nice. Whoever is staying in this room is really going to be able to enjoy taking in the peak, and that's one of the reasons we live in Colorado, is to take advantage of that mountain view. So that's a nice touch. With that, we're going to check out the master bedroom, complete with its own sitting room. But on the way, here's the secondary bath. And as you can see here, we have a linoleum floor. We've got countertops that look like granite. They are Formica, so those Formica looking granite. We've got 4-inch tile surround with a nice diamond theme throughout. And in general, this has been winterized, so the water's not currently flowing through it. You de-winterize this and you move in. So we're really taking advantage of a distressed property situation, guys. Not a huge cosmetic overhaul, but really just taking advantage of the fact that the government doesn't want to own this property. They know it's worth $220, $225, but they need to get rid of it, and that means you can step in and buy this thing for $190, put a very small amount of work into it, and have $30,000 worth of equity just like that. Master bedrooms this way. Right out of the gate, this master feels really huge. I mean, you've got a really good sized bedroom, nice place to put your bed, and etc. I've sold this floor plan before, so you can either set it against the window here, because it is such a tall window, or a lot of people set it over on that side of the room. But in either case, you've got a lot of space. Carpeting again in the master, no major stains, no tears, nothing that we need to do except maybe stretch it out. On the sides here, you can see where it's bumping up a little bit, so we can get a carpet stretcher out here that'll fix that right up. Here's the master bath. It's a full master bath. It's got just a single sink, but a ton of countertop space. You got the nice 4-inch tile surround in here, and of course you have the toilet back in this direction. The floors are linoleum, look to be in pretty decent shape, looks like they were well maintained, so no major issues in the master bedroom. But I'll tell you, what really sells this floor plan, which I've sold before, is this sitting room off of the master. In the model, they stage this several different ways. You can make this an office, you can make this a nice exercise room. This lends a lot of options, but guys, this master bedroom is about half the width of the entire property upstairs. So really, if it's somebody as a young family who only needs small bedrooms for the kids to get going, or you just have a lot of stuff that you want to fit in the master, this is an ideal layout because the master with the sitting area provides a wealth of opportunity and gives you additional master bedroom space that's sort of in the room, but not quite. So great feature. People always really love that sitting room off of the master bedroom. With that, let's go check out the backyard of Heather Glen and get you rolling. So we're out back at 3247 Heather Glen. Now, being built in the 90s, guys, we're not worried about a lot of huge issues on the exterior. You do have the old wood, the masonite style siding with the wood veneer. This stuff, properly painted again, will hold up for a very long time, so we shouldn't have to worry about that. The rear landscaping, despite the fact that nobody's lived here for a while, is actually holding up quite well. The grass is already starting to green back in, and what that tells us is this has just been a well-maintained lawn. So you shouldn't have to put any much time or money into the landscaping. This is pretty much good to go. That's the benefit to buying something both in this price range and in this neighborhood, guys. We're located sort of North Carefree and Peterson area, so you're in Stetson Hills. Everything was built kind of early 90s, early 2000, late 90s, early 2000 era, and at 190 we're stealing this thing because this probably went originally somewhere in the twos, and it's easily worth 220 today. Today we can get it for 190. Let's go ahead and recap Heather Glen and we'll get you on your way. This is 3247 Heather Glen Drive, Colorado Springs, Colorado, 80922. This is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-car home with a unfinished basement that adds another 400 square feet to the 1,700 square feet that's finished already. Guys, this is a great deal because all it needs is very basic cosmetic updating, as we talked about, some minor sanding to the floors, and just like that, you're in business. This is an excellent opportunity to pick up a distressed property that doesn't need work, but you still get all the benefits of the equity and the tax credit for those of you who have served in our military overseas, and we thank you for that. This is just one more way that government's thanking you for that as well. With that, guys, you got to get into this one quickly. The number's at the bottom of the screen, 719-649-2500. Hit us up on the website, ColoradoSpringsForeclosureDeals.com. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook as well, Facebook.com/Colorado Springs Foreclosure Deals. With that, this is Donnie Corum with the Colorado Springs Foreclosure Deals team. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.